Hello
We're
everyone,
back.
welcome back. We actually have a surprise run of Punch Out Wii. It's an any percent run because Speed Breaker unfortunately cannot make it. But no worries, no worries about that. Yeah, take it away.
Alrighty, we're back with some more Punch Out Wii. This time around, we are going to be doing any percent, which entitles not just the contender percent portion of the run, but also doing the title defense loop, which Sebastian here on co-comps is actually going to be helping me explain all that. Again, timer is going to start when I click A here on the Glass Joe fight, and timer will end when the last will actually end on the last stand fight, the third last stand fight when we hit retire. That's when the timer will end. Alrighty. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started again. And 3, 2, 1, go. Now,
So,
go for it.
all right. So here we're not gonna see anything we haven't seen before. So you're not gonna hear much commentary during this first half of the game. But yeah. Uh, so after we beat Mr. Sandman, we are gonna be tasked with defending our title since we become the world champion after beating Mr. Sandman. And we're gonna fight the same 13 fights, but all their mechanics work differently.
Yes, so a lot
Yeah.
of like the instant knockdowns that happen within this first loop of the game are no longer going to be present. So like for example, this knockdown that we just did on Clash Joe, that is no longer present because we have actually a completely different mechanic within Clash Joe. So a lot
Yep.
of the fights just changed. That doesn't mean that we don't have any instant knockout opportunities. It's just maybe the instant knockdown is faster than the other one. But a lot of the
Yeah.
strategies will explain that in and of itself.
Yeah. Like I think we can let's just wait until we actually get there, just so we're not spoiling the whole run.
No, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, because yeah. So Kaiser, nothing new to see here.
Except a little bit better execution.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit better. Yeah. I didn't get smacked this time.
But yeah, no, first of all, I have to throughout this run give a big shout out to the Punch Out community for giving not only the strategies behind these fights and going through a lot of development. This game has been going through a massive resurgence recently. Not only in fights like Disco Kid here, where we developed a new phase 3 that actually saves us 4 frames, but also Title Defense Salmon has gone through a big revelation in and of itself.
Yeah.
We have gone through probably about 10 different strategies on just Title Defense Salmon alone. So it's
Yeah.
been
This
like a
is.
massive resurgence in this game, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is, this game compared to its two predecessors, Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Punch Out Wii, or Super Punch Out. Uh, this game is pretty underexplored. So you're more likely to find new stuff on here compared to like Super Punch Out, where that game is very optimized.
There you go.
I mean, it also kind of makes sense since this is like the newest game, and like people were more busy with Super and Wii, or Super and Mike Tyson's. Jesus, Why am I doing this now?
Here it comes.
Oh, it's early. Yep.
Damn.
That's okay. Yep. We have backups.
Alrighty.
Unfortunately, that lost us 13 seconds, but hey, it's bound to happen, especially on a long run like this. Going for the super optimal strategies, we can't expect to hit those all in one run.
Yeah, like.
Especially because this game is ridiculously fast-paced. It's kind of tough to explain all the intricacies, the mechanics that happen behind it. Um, especially with the fact that like Gamer Attack and how Sebastian was explaining earlier, one mistake throughout this run can very easily snowball and lose you a lot of time.
Yeah. Alright. Back on King Hippo, see if you can actually get the frame perfect star we were talking about last round.
Yeah, there's a 1 frame window within him getting back to the center of the arena where it'll actually trigger his attack sooner. So hopefully we can show that off. But again, it's a 1 frame window. We'll see if that happens. Oh, that's way late.
That is very late. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is probably a good time to explain pseudo buffers since we haven't explained those yet. So buffer strategies are like when you have a string of buffered inputs to time like a punch or even a dodge in some cases. Pseudo buffers are very similar in concept, except all the inputs aren't buffered. It's just more as like help with timing and not just to like fully time it.
Right. So in the case for that star punch, there's not a buffer that hits it on the exact frame that we're looking for. So we need to do a buffer so that we can help us with our timing on the star punch. If there was a timing on that, if there was a perfect buffer on that, then everybody would just be using it, and Hippo Star would be just guaranteed.
Yeah, no,
Which
that'd be paradise.
yeah, that would yes be paradise. Oh, then thanks for the good luck. I really appreciate that. We were finally able to figure out the audio issue that I've been having thanks to Sebastian, so I can actually hear the game, not have any audio desync, so we're all set.
Yep.
Going into Major Circuit now. Major Circuit is quite a difficult. Honestly, within the realm of
Probably
contender percent, is the hardest stretch.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it's probably the hardest circuit in the realm.
Because as you saw in the previous run, World Circuit's actually probably the easiest one because we've done so much practice within World Circuit to make sure we can get it consistently that we ignore like Major and Minor Circuit.
Yeah. And like honestly, a good chunk of your runs, like when you're grinding 10%, are like the most likely to die within like the first 3 fights. Like especially if you're trying to play, especially if you're like 45 and like playing really tightly.
Yeah, at the current stage that we're at now, optimization in any frame is key.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really early, but no, that was exactly on the frame on the idle. So yeah, that Star Punch in concept, when you saw earlier, it kind of sped up his attack script. It's the same concept with a lot of different fights, like Super Macho Man, we did it a bunch to speed up his attack script. There's a lot of fights that take advantage of that, and we're going to be seeing that only on a couple of fights, not on all of them, but some. It's mainly just depending on the fight, it's either going to help us with reaching a certain attack sooner or to just get us the proper health to trigger another attack. Because a lot of the boxers like special attacks are either timer scripted or they're health based. So in the case of Super Macho Man, we needed a star in phase 3 so that way we can get him to half health so it can trigger his triple clothesline. For a fight like Great Tiger, we have timer scripted magic rush attacks. So like that rush attack that he did with the fake out clone, that's timer scripted. Let's see if I can hit this first one. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the hardest one. That's a 3-frame window, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the bear hugs are 4 frame windows, if I remember correctly.
They're 5. Bear hug,
5,
bear hug
okay.
is 5. Which luckily, they're not super horrible to time,
Yeah,
but
like,
at the same time, it's like 5 frames is actually like a pretty big enough window where you can be way too lax on it and ignore how difficult that timing is.
like
We'll get
I
a
kind of use a
27-second there.
yeah, I use like bear hugger saying hug as a bit of an audio cue as to like when to time the star, and like a good visual cue to know like if you actually got it is like if he's like looking at you when the star lands.
Yeah.
Almost a
So now going
26.
on to
Wow.
Great Tiger. So Great Tiger, the strategy that you saw earlier and the strategy I'm gonna do right now, excuse me, it's an adjustment to the individual level fight where if you look at the IL fight, at the very beginning they basically manipulate his position to make sure that you can get the star as soon as possible. That only saves a handful of frames, and within the course of about an hour 25-minute run, we need consistency. We don't need to be extremely optimal. So this is the one adjustment that makes the IL strategy a little bit more consistent. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, no.
And
Yeah,
then
this is like
also,
a-
unfortunately with this fight, one mistake on a mistimed punch is gonna throw off phase 3.
Yeah. Like I brought that up earlier. Like you need to do like a specific amount of punches for Tiger to do like a specific pattern. Not like a specific pattern, but like the pattern you need.
That's really good, actually.
No shot.
There's that variable buffer. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, we already discussed variable buffers. You know, definitely
Yeah.
not our first time seeing variable buffers. For example, on like Super Macho Man and Super Punch Out, you do different variable buffers to like get it to knock him down at a 701. Primarily because if he gets knocked down at 801, he'll get up with like, or if you knock him down later than 801, he'll get up with a much larger health refill, basically breaking the whole like 4-second knockdown rule that game has with like specific fights. All right, now time for everyone's favorite fight.
Let's see if I can actually do the fight and not just blank out in my brain about how to do this fight.
Just like just do it how you'd normally do it.
Yeah.
If I can say.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, those rhythmic delayed punches are very brutal. Like, especially if you're on a high pressure run, those can sometimes feel like impossible to hit.
Yeah.
And now we get the instant knockout.
Like, he's a run murderer.
Yeah, and throughout the course of an any percent run as well, the title defense version of him, which we're not going to spoil right now, but the title defense version of this one is quite a bit different.
It is bad. That's all we can really say. That's nightmare.
But now we showed off that instant knockout, which in the first time around I couldn't show off because the only way the instant knockout works is I cannot get hit and I need that infinite to last at least 7 hits. So throughout the individual level, ideally we want that infinite to last for 15 hits, and then we can use the star punch. Now there's a bit of a caveat with that infinite though. you can go as slow as you want. The issue is that the timer increments so fast that more often than not, it's going to become a 30-second fight compared to the tool assisted time, which is a 17. If you want to time it properly, it's about a 2-frame window per punch of the infinite, so that the timer doesn't like increment so fast. But you can't go too early, or then you'll miss. So there's like that happy balance in the middle where you have that 2-frame window to hit that infinite. But it's again a very difficult infinite to go through.
Was something I tried to bring up last round before I like disconnected. There's a lot of things in this fight just related to the number 7. Like his stuns last for 7 punches. You have 7 hearts. And
That's
he
a frame
always
perfect
like
buffer.
and he always gets up on a 7 count, which is like pretty funny.
I believe that's a 5484, but I could be incorrect on that one. It could also be a 78.
We'll see.
Yeah, I've for context, the amount of times I've run this game, the timer just gives away so much information. And like once you reach a certain degree, you can just tell by the timer, because the timer actually gives you a lot of information. That's why we're able to like know what the timer of the fight is before we even finish the fight.
Yeah. So the way this game, in terms of the timer, the way this game works is that 1 frame takes the timer by 0.06.
Yes.
That's like unstunned, but like when a fighter is stunned or like this timer slows down for like whatever reason. I don't. How much does it like? It slows down by a lot, but like
it'll increment the timer by exactly 1 decimal, so it'll be 0.01.
All right.
Which will become more applicable in title defense, because for some reason contender mode and title defense mode, their timers are very awkward, and mainly because of the fights themselves, they work a bit different and the decimals become very obscure.
Yeah, Soda. Honestly, Soda is like one of my favorite fights to execute in this game.
Yeah, he has a very interesting strategy in play.
Yeah, where like it's faster to get knocked down on purpose. Like even if you try to find something RTA viable to like not get knocked down once, it is still like gonna be slower.
Yeah, because we take advantage of 2 different mechanics. One, when you get up, he'll throw a hook to basically say welcome back.
Like that.
But the other mechanic that we're taking advantage of is if you get hit 6 times by Soda, by default he will throw a taunt. So we took 4 hits in phase 1 to get that knockdown. When he gets up here, he's going to throw 3 uppercuts, which means we got hit 7 times. So here, in this instance, when we get up, we'll still get the welcome back hook, but then he'll throw a taunt, which we can throw at his taunt to do an instant knockout. That was beautiful.
I think that was on the frame, right?
That was on the frame.
Nice.
We'll take that.
We will absolutely take that.
Yeah, this one's actually like a very cool and interesting fight. The strategy itself can sometimes be jarring, especially if you go too early on the hooks. Then you won't have the stars that you need to enable in order to execute that fight. But once you are able to like understand how the mechanics of the fight work, it's such a satisfying fight to do.
Yeah.
Couple different things to note here though. Before this run started, I had to load up my completed file so that I can basically load up these specific fights. So for example, Soda, I had to load it up for Bald Bull, and that's for a specific reason. It was actually discovered that certain boxers in this game, when you fight them for the first time, behave a little bit different and behave a little bit slower. So for this fight in particular, this intro buffer does not work when you fight him for the very first time.
He's gonna be nasty.
There we go.
That
was
was
very good.
nasty.
So yeah,
Oh
that's
my
called the
God.
power on glitch. For some reason, there's 4 specific fights throughout the entirety of any percent that kind of abuse this mechanic.
With two of them
so
being-
good! Oh my god!
one of them obviously being Contender Bowl, and the other being Contender Soda in terms of contender fights. The other.
Yeah.
What are the other two again? I low-key don't know. 'Cause I
So
don't
the
know any
two
of
other
stuff.
fights that get affected by this is Title Defense Von Kaiser and Title Defense Bull. So both the Bull fights actually get affected by power on glitch.
Oh yeah, I forgot TD. I forgot. I had a feeling TD Bull was like one of them. I forgot TD Kaiser was though.
Yeah, if you guys ever get a chance to watch the tool assist of this run, which I highly recommend watching because it shows off a lot of interesting and unique strategies. But also, a lot of it, you'll see that they restart the fights, and that the boxes behave a little bit different. That's because for some reason, depending on when you first load up the game and you power on the game, let's take Bull for example, his jab actually will come out slightly slower. It'll actually come out slow enough that that intro buffer doesn't work and you get hit, unless you load up the fight and you restart the fight. Then his rolling jab actually comes out fast enough that that buffer works.
Are you ready? Cause I'm gonna put on a
It's
show.
a weird glitch in regards to how these these boxes work.
Crunch. No. Crunch. Bogus.
Just for you, Sebastian.
Yes, image dodge.
Photo.
Yeah, so like Gamer stated during the Contender % run, that was a little thing I found that I titled the image dodge.
Three. Come on. Fight. Mark.
I remember it took me like I want to say post reports like a year to find out how many frames that wasted.
Yeah, because we really didn't have anybody to task this game
Yeah.
until sorry, I'm gonna have to execute this.
Until okay, I got you. Until a runner named Jake who primarily tasked like super list stuff for Super Punch Out, where you don't throw a
Oh
single...
my god!
Wait, was that Quick Duck?
I got the quick duck.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's for you, Rain. I got you. So we should probably explain that. So in this
Yeah.
game, when you play it for the first time, let's go back to Mike Tyson's Punch Out. In Mike Tyson's Punch Out and even in Super Punch Out, you do have the option to make your dodges go by faster, by simply pressing up on the controller. They didn't incorporate that into this game, but we were able to find a sequence of inputs that actually speeds up our dodge a little bit. It's not the first dodge, because the first dodge has to be either a full dodge or a full duck. Every consecutive dodge after that, if you do a diagonal input, you will get a quick dodge. And for a quick duck, it's a little bit more complicated and a lot tougher, especially if you're playing on original hardware. You have to be holding up, and then when Mac recenters himself, then we press down. It's a lot of awkward inputs just to make your dodge go by quicker.
Yeah, no.
That is a beautiful phase one.
Beautiful.
1, 2, 3. Come on. Fight. Nice.
That was a little bit slow, but we should still be able to get it. Perfect. And something that we should explain about buffers too. In certain moments throughout these fights, we aren't able to just hold down the button and do the buffer. So for example, that first left hook, I have to manually time that and then I can do the rest of the buffer. It's only at the start of the phase, like the start of the fight at the very beginning, when you can buffer an input. Other than that, you're gonna have to manually time these inputs, and then you can string your next set of inputs so that they can actually be buffers. But no, this is the first loop of the game. This is contender, the contender mode finished through. So now that we have some downtime,
Yep.
don't know.
I don't know if Mark. Yeah, no, because Mark's taking a nap.
Yeah, no worries. So, I mean, we can explain a couple more different mechanics about Punch-Out Wii while we're waiting through this sequence. So, apart from these instant knockdowns and then the quick dodge and stuff, that it's a lot tougher on original hardware. You can play it on emulator to make it a little bit easier on yourselves, because especially since you're not having to deal with the Wii Remote D-pad. But even then, the inputs themselves are very difficult to consistently hit, and they do end up saving us quite a bit of time, because I believe, if memory serves me right, these quick dodges and quick ducks actually speeds up your dodges by about 3 frames each. So it actually helps out with timings. So let's take Glass Joe for example. That first buffer that you saw at the very beginning was 2 dodges into 3 quick dodges, which actually sets up the Star Punch so that it hits Glass Joe on the very last possible frame. So that way we are able to kind of abuse a little bit of a mechanic within Punch-Out Wii, where in certain moments throughout a triple Star Punch, or even just like a regular Star Punch, the timer is actually going to be slowed down by a good increment. We do have moments throughout where if you throw it at the start immediately, the timer just speeds up a lot. So, for example, Ball Pull, we ended up doing a lot of delayed triple Star Punches, and that's just to slow down the timer. Yes.
Welcome back, Mark. Alright, so we are done with Contender. Now on to the real meat and bones of this category.
Yeah, if you have any donations to throw in here, Mark, while we were waiting on this credit sequence, you're more than welcome to throw some.
Yeah.
If not, then we can just keep on explaining a couple of these boxers while we wait.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
You're more than welcome to throw out a couple of donations while we are here in this credit sequence. This credit sequence is going to take quite a bit of time, so if you have any
these credits are going to take a while.
Right, do we... Unfortunately, we do not have any in the moment. No.
Okay. I'll go for it.
I have a feeling it's because everyone's asleep at this point in time.
Yeah, that's very fair. We'll go ahead and explain a couple different mechanics then in the meantime. So, for the total defense loop now of this game, it's actually, like how we were explaining earlier, the boxers change quite a bit. Not just aesthetically, but their pure mechanics change. So we are presented with a lot more instant knockout opportunities, but they're much more strict. And even star windows, when, let's say for example for Glass Joe, if it was a lot more lenient, now they become from a lot more lenient, so like let's say 7+ frames, to now being 3 frame windows. So a lot of our star opportunities just go out the window and they become much tougher. And that will become a lot more prevalent, especially when we reach a certain fight. Ball Bull. But anyways, we'll explain the fights as we go along.
Alrighty.
Hey, great work, Mac. Now let's take down the next challenger.
But no, I'm excited to show off this loop of the game.
Yeah, no, because this is a very interesting loop of the game.
Faster, faster. Come on, you can do it. Quick feet, Mac. Quick feet. Keep it up, Mac. Keep it up.
And you know, these cutscenes and like that, I'm assuming the majority of the reason why this game is not heavily run is because of these cutscenes, which I can overlook that honestly, especially with how much fun the boxers are to execute, especially if you
Yeah.
know how these fights operate. If you're just able to consistently like lower your times, it's actually a lot of fun. But no, the cutscenes make it kind of a turn off from actually trying to.
Kind of makes it, yeah, it makes it drag out.
But yeah, as you see, Glass Joe, there's 100th loss. He got a helmet, so now we have to work
Yeah,
our way
so,
around it.
yep. So why not just do that? Definitely doesn't break the laws of physics.
So, unfortunately, this fight was programmed very poorly. So you can actually loop these stars in such a way that you can end it with a star in every phase. Let's see if I can get smooth cancel. Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, we were able to just basically keep looping stars over and over again and end off the phase with a star every single time. So unfortunately, Glass Joe, it doesn't become all that exciting with a helmet on.
Yeah. You think it'd be a bit more. I mean, for a casual playthrough, though, it's a very. It is a very daunting fight in a casual playthrough. Because, like, Glacio is actually challenging for once.
And then I actually want to pose a challenge to all of you because we're at a point now within Punch Out here, like we're far enough in that now Donkey Kong is going to appear in the crowd. So I want you all to figure out where he is in the crowd and how many times you're able to spot him in the crowd. As a little fun mini game.
Yeah.
So anyways, now we move
Alright.
on to Von Kaiser, which is one of those fights also that gets affected by power on glitch.
And honestly, another one of my favorite fights in the game.
No, this fight is so much fun to execute.
It is so fun. Like,
I mean, this fight had two different strategies. The old school strat where you just get triple star punches and knock him out. In this version of the strategy, we're actually going to be taking advantage of a mechanic of Von Kaiser where if you collect 7 stars in 7 unique different ways, it'll count as an instant knockout. Thanks to the Expedition Challenge showing you that. So we're going to go ahead and get 5 of them in this first phase. And that is 5 different ways of getting a star.
yep.
But no, that entire phase, when done right, looks so cool.
Yeah, no, definitely like one of the coolest looking fights in the game.
But now that's one of the instant knockdowns that Von Kaiser has. If at any point you have 3 stars, you stun him, he'll go down to the mat. But that's a little slow for us.
Yeah. But there is another fight that has a pretty similar mechanic we'll be taking advantage of.
So that was rude for Von Kaiser.
Yeah. That was really rude. Almost like why he like smacked you in the face like that.
And that is our 7 unique ways of getting a star. So yeah, those 2
Yep.
fake out punches only happen during his second and third phase. But because we never see them in phase 2, we're going to immediately see them in phase 3, and that's our last 2 opportunities to get those stars.
Yep.
So now there's Disco Kid. Disco Kid changed quite a bit. He's actually quite a lot faster compared to his contender version. He still has the same instant knockdown, funnily enough. But we're actually not going to use that. We're actually going to use a completely different strategy because he actually has an instant knockout where we can just immediately end the fight. Sebastian, if you want to go over that one real quick.
Yeah, so Some fighters in this game, when you hit like a ton with a triple star punch. Okay, so in Mike Tyson, if you played Mike Tyson's Punch Out before but never seen this game, the way stars work in this game is that they stack. So if you have 1 star, it'll do like X amount of health. I think it. I don't know. Okay, I don't want to say it like doubles and triples the damage if you have 2 or 3. If it's not true, but you do more damage depending on how many stars you have. Yeah, so here that's an instant knockout. And on Glass Joe, for example, that was another example of an instant knockout where you like counter his taunt with a 3-star punch.
Yeah, there's a lot of fights that have instant knockouts, but we don't take advantage of them because they're actually not fast enough to make them worthwhile.
Yeah.
So like on Super Macho Man, for example, if you do throw a triple star punch on his triple clothesline, that's actually an instant knockout. But there's not a point within the individual level strategy where that becomes a viable strategy. So here we have King Hippo again. He's actually going to be a little bit trickier this time around. A lot of these buffers that I'm going to be doing are going to be off screen, but also silent. So I need to be able to time my inputs in such a way that it actually hits them on the frame that I want them to, you know, connect on. So yeah, like that buffer right there, I couldn't hear anything. I just had to hope and pray that I timed them correctly.
Yeah, so King Hippo has a bit of a body armor now that we just smacked off of him.
And we are going to take advantage of an instant knockout that Hippo has here. Where he has his Hippo Squash and Squeeze. And if we have a star, it'll be an instant knockout. That was actually a really good Hippo.
Yeah, what was that, 112?
It was a 112, yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
No, this fight is, like, a lot of these title defense fights are so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh wow, 112.39. It's actually not that far off
That was
from
a
my
low
PB.
one for a while.
But now, from this point onwards, the fights in difficulty skyrocket. Like, they are actually very, very brutal to execute. And I would expect like a couple of adaptation. And I might even have to reset on a couple of them because they actually become that difficult where if I could go even off script just a little bit, I might even go into round 2 because we'll see how I'm able to persevere. But from major circuit, so from world A downwards, these fights just skyrocket in difficulty. Luckily, a lot of these strategies can be backed up in such a way that I can actually get myself back on script. But there's no guarantee of that, especially with how fast a lot of these fights are too. It's going to be quite a challenge to even make sure that I'm on script again, or if I can back it up in some way with some instant knockout, or even get a star again. That was really good. Okay. So now we're gonna be taking advantage of an instant knockdown that Piston Hondo has here, where he does like a kind of a sway to the left and right to do an uppercut. And if we have a star, put him down to the mat. That can actually be an instant knockout if you do have a triple star punch, but like I was saying
But
before, if we don't, like we are so far in the fight that that's not even a possibility.
6, 7, 8. Come on, come on. Fight.
And then we love that Hondo Rush attack buffer.
it's a really good fight.
But yeah, no, that was really good. That Hondo Rush has a pretty unique mechanic, similar to Mike Tyson's Punch Out when you fight Hondo for the second time, where there are 4 frames where you can counter that Hondo Rush. 3 out of the 4 frames, it's going to be a star. The last possible frame is an instant knockout. So kind of a cool homage. Like this game actually has quite a bit of references to Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And that's kind of what I like about it. It's kind of got a mix of both Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Super Punch Out, where it has like similar mechanics, but then we have boxers like Bear Hugger here, who's actually from Super Punch Out.
Yeah, Boxer's like, yeah, and Aaron.
And Aaron as well, yes.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if like at some point, if there is a new Punch Out game that isn't just a Wii remake, they'll add like other SPO boxes.
So Sebastian, if you want to go ahead and go over this fight real quick.
All right, so this is
Gonna stop ya.
one of the this is like the easiest title defense fight of all time. That's all I can really say about this fight.
3, 4.
Yeah, luckily a lot of these inputs are buffered as soon as you
Yeah.
get the counter punch.
Catch and release.
Yeah, like yeah, like 99% of these inputs are buffered. It's
Also, I see
I
a
think
friend
it's like-
PK over there in the crowd.
1, 2,
oh wow, I do not see him.
He's next to Bear Hugger on the right side of the screen.
7.
Oh, I see him.
Come on, come on. Fight.
There he is. IDK.
Catch and release.
So fun fact, if you skip the cutscene, then that last buffer for the 3rd star works. If you watch the cutscene, that buffer doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
There are
so we have a lot of these fights where watching the cutscene actually does make a big enough difference. It's not even just on this fight too. There's another fight like Piston Hondo in contender mode, where if you watch the cutscene, that intro buffer doesn't work, and you won't be able to do that frame perfect move cancel with the buffer.
I was about to say, there's a lot of janky stuff going on with the cutscene. If you like watch the cutscene or don't watch the cutscene in the game.
Yeah. It's a
Like-
great Tiger here. If I don't do this instant knockout, we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So if you kind of want to go over that instant knockout for us, Sebastian.
I don't know the full criteria, but if you have a star and counter like Tiger's like the hooks during like Great Tiger's magic attack, like after he does like the spinning punch, you'll be able to instantly knock him out with that star.
So far, so good. That's a perfect fight.
Beautiful. All right, we're gonna. All right, now we're gonna move on to our best friend. Yeah,
That's
no,
putting it lightly. That is putting
yeah,
it very lightly.
Like this is like honestly the worst fight in the game. What's coming up?
Yeah, I consider this way harder than Title Defense Soda, which we'll get to that point.
You know,
But
like, TD Soda is a hard fight, but this guy is so much worse in like every single way.
so if you
So
all
you-
recall the infinite that we had in contender mode, that's possible in this fight.
You do it a little differently, but it's possible. Instead of a hook jab pattern, you do hook and then 2 jabs. But instead of doing it for like 15 punches, like you have to like for contender mode, you have to do it throughout the whole duration of the fight, and you cannot knock him out. Or like it's not faster to knock him out.
Okay. We only dropped one punch. We only dropped one punch. Okay.
That was something.
Oh my god, I did not drop a single one there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This could be actually a really good fight.
We'll see.
Oh, I'm not gonna go for the hard evasion. I'm not gonna do
yeah,
it.
no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
That's a 49.
That is a wow.
That is
perfect,
wow.
dude.
Yeah, no, that is a
goodness.
like we cannot emphasize enough how difficult
Yeah,
this
no,
strat is. It's so difficult to execute it.
He made that look so easy, but I can tell you from my own experience, this is not an easy fight.
And how I was spoiling earlier that there's a much harder phase 3. The phase 3 involves you throwing that triple star punch and then getting 2 more stars. Luckily, we have a buffer for the second star, but in order to make the most out of that double star punch, we have to manually delay that star punch for 2 frames. It can't be any earlier than 2 frames because then the timer advances. But it can't be any later than 2 frames because Dawn is going to dodge. So it needs to be a manually 2 frame delayed star punch, and then you can make the most of it. But it's not worth it. It's so not worth it.
Like if you're in a high pressure situation, just it is not worth going for it. All right, we got Aaron Ryan. Yay! This is
actually the easiest fight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is like in terms of like if you want to go for like individual world records, title defense Aaron Ryan is like one of the easiest ones you can go for.
I'm actually shaking, dude.
Dude,
After
it's okay.
After Dawn, I'm like shaking.
Yeah, no, like, I do not blame you. That like getting a 49 Dawn is insane.
That was really good.
Nice.
Here's one of my favorites, man.
That works. That works.
All right.
Beautiful
All right.
fight.
So yeah. So as long as you have a star when you knock Aaron Ryan down. All right. So the main mechanic with Aaron Ryan is that he has his old boxing glove like attached to a rope. Oh yeah. I'm gonna make a quick PSA about this because I've seen a lot of people get this wrong for no reason. The gloves Aaron Ryan are wearing, the ones he's actually wearing in title defense, those are not Little Max. Those are like a spare Perry pack. those are way too light to be Little Max gloves from the minor circuit.
And it's shown in the cutscene that he swaps out gloves.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, no, that mechanic, he takes the old boxing glove, turns it into a weapon, and we can actually use that as an instant knockout.
Yep.
But it has to be with a jab. If you have a star and you finish him off with a jab, you have an opportunity to do an instant knockdown. It doesn't work with a body blow because of his falling animation being a little bit different.
Mark.
Okay, but now we're on the toughest stretch. This stretch is so difficult.
We are on some of like these like next 2 fights are the hardest fights in this entire circuit.
I'm gonna try to go for the 119.
All right, good luck, dude.
Good start.
Okay, that's a really good start.
Perfect. Perfect phase one.
Okay,
Okay.
nice. Okay, so you saw like 45 like throwing random hooks during like before he's angry and focus.
No, you.
Okay. So that is to manipulate Soda's pattern. Kind of similar to Great Tiger in Contender, where like if you like don't like do certain punches, his pattern won't be what you want.
Let's go, dude. Let's
Oh
go.
my. This is.
Oh my god.
We are.
So, to kind of explain
Okay.
a couple things that happened. So, like Sebastian was saying earlier, those hooks are to manipulate his pattern. So I took that hit on purpose to help manipulate his pattern. On top of that, he does have an instant knockout, or instant knockdown, but it involves a certain mechanic within this fight. So the more you dodge his punches, the more times you can stun him. If you hit him 4 times in a stun and throw a star punch, that is an instant knockdown, and we take advantage of that in phase 2 of the fight. And then in phase 3, that last star that I collected was a 2-frame window star punch. So, needless to say, I'm very nervous right now.
Yeah, no. And
Especially
this fight.
for this stupid fight.
Yeah, I'll take it
Sebastian,
from
you want to
here.
explain? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. So in Mike Tyson's Punch Out, some fights had repeats mainly because of memory issues. Bald Bull was one of those fights, and he had a pretty unique gimmick where you only could knock him down with stars. This fight has that same mechanic, but with one major change. Every star you have to get is a mandatory frame perfect. So you can kind of see 45 is like kind of struggling to get these stars. Oh,
No.
that
Actually,
is really
wait a minute.
not good.
We have a rolling
Wait,
jab
could he?
here. That's pattern
Okay.
recognition for you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no.
this was, in my opinion, this was a massive oversight by the devs. If they kept it as a 2-frame window, like they have for like other fights in this game, honestly, that would be a lot more manageable. Alright.
Nope. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm so good with that.
Yeah, no, like, considering how hard this fight is to execute, like, yeah, no, this fight is basically like the Mike Tyson of this game. Even
Yes.
though this fight isn't the final fight. But they're very comparable because the amount of frame perfect punches you have to hit.
That's a 124.
Alright.
Which will take that. So the whole premise even behind. So here's the thing. Bald Bull here actually has an instant knockout, where if you have three star punches, like 3 stars collected, and you throw the triple star punch during his bull charge, it's an instant knockout. And it's a very consistent method of knocking him out. The whole premise behind not doing that, though, is so that we can guarantee ourselves a bull charge in phase 3. But that's so much harder to do than the instant knockout.
Yeah, no, but like, if you do manage to get it, it pays off so well.
For comparison,
Alright.
the individual level strategy gets it with 42 seconds rather than 1:30. So you can kind of see how much time that actually saves.
Yeah, no, you gain so much time if you actually get this strat to work. Alright, time for the funny guy. the rather
Which
fun
I will
guy.
play the cutscene out.
Yep. And we better hope for a release the bogus, or we have to reset this whole run.
I swear to God, if after like 15 minutes of doing this game and I have to reset the whole game, no, that is not
Oh my
happening.
god. Yeah, no. Like that's part of why I would not run around this category.
That's good. That, yeah, I kind of had to adapt there on the fly.
Yeah, that was weird.
No, because I missed. So on that delayed uppercut, I did miss my delayed jab in order to get a star.
Yeah.
Release the bogus.
He
First
said
try
the funny.
bogus.
Release the no. Wipe.
There we go. Get back up. But yeah, no, we
Back that
got
up
released
really
the bogus.
well.
This run is approval.
Yeah. Yep, this is world record right here.
There's that move cancel. So yeah, we do
Okay.
move cancel there, and then we throw the star punch, because for some reason Macho actually takes a long time to recover from his idol, which we can actually squeeze in a star through
Yeah,
that.
so, so the thing is with title defense, for these fights, if
Beautiful.
you throw a star punch while the boxer is unstunned, they will just dodge it. But since Macho takes a long time to return to his idol, you can kind of take advantage of that, and it looks like he just doesn't even have that mechanic of dodging your stars.
So, Sandman, the fight that we've been
Snap.
building up to, that we said there's like a bunch of different strategies for this one.
Which one are you gonna do?
That's a very good question.
There's like a bajillion of them, so like,
Gotta
figure it out.
I think I have an idea of which one I want to do.
Alright.
Am I gonna hit it? We'll see. It'll have a 2-frame window to hit the very last punch.
God.
But let's see what happens here. That was perfect. That was perfect. That was
Nice.
perfect.
Holy.
Now for phase 2. Dude, let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, you gotta do the funny left jab. You
I have
gotta
to
do
try. I
it.
have to try for it.
You gotta. If you don't get it, gotta
I have to reset the whole run. That is. So what we just witnessed right now is a full game PB. I actually got a full game PV with without last stand.
GG.
You
dude.
actually?
What's the final time? What's the final time right now? It's not over.
Yeah, it's not
are
over
you-
yet because we do
What is
have
it?
3 more fights after this. We have to do
Yeah,
the last 3
3.
fights of last stand in order for this
Yeah.
full game 80% to count.
42 Sandman, dude. What's your time at right now? What's without last stand?
20, 53, 78.
Jesus.
Now that
Uh,
Sandman strategy was actually discovered today.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yes, it was
By
discovered.
gamer.
So there was originally a much tougher strategy where we threw the star punch early on in his idol, but Gamer actually made an adjustment to the strategy where we do those full duck buffers to make sure that we can actually hit it on the correct frame window. and it makes the strat so much easier. So
That's so
shout out to
sick.
Gamer for that adjustment on the strategy.
Yeah. He's not here with us, but he's here with us in spirit.
That's
So
Okay,
now,
sit that like he died or something. Okay, so this section of the run is very interesting because you see the chances part. So this is meant to be an infinite loop of basically all the tile defense boxers. The way it works is that so
like with this first fight, it's an opponent from the minor circuit.
yeah.
Ooh, we got the best one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna lose. So the whole point here is to just lose on purpose as fast as we can. And the 3 ideal fights we want here, the first one is Von Kaiser, which we did get. The second one we want Don Flamenco, so that is a 1 in 5 because not only are we gonna get the first 4 fights not only are we gonna get the fights from the major circuit, but we are also there's also a slim chance we get Donkey Kong here,
Yes.
who if you can only unlock through Max Last Stand. And for the last fight, the best fight is Mr. Sandman because the whole my turn thing, if you get hit by that, that slows down the timer.
Yes. So the whole point, so to actually bring that to light, now that you bring that up, the main reason you've been seeing me get hit on purpose with Sandman on those my turn retaliations, it's because they slow down the timer by a significant amount. To put it into perspective, that timer that you saw me getting the strategy with got a 238. The old school strategy for that fight gets a 235. So you can see how much of a difference it actually makes by getting hit by those retaliation attacks.
All right,
That's actually genius.
please.
Party scheme
All right,
mechanics.
let's please get done.
Mark, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I said that's genius, or I guess game
Yeah.
mechanics.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no.
now we need to
The
hope
Punch
for
Out games
Dawn.
all have their unique quirks.
Okay, you know what? That's fine.
Isn't that second best? Or is
No,
it...
second best is Bear.
Okay. Oh, so this is like
This is
third best?
Yeah, because Great Tiger is the absolute worst. Great Tiger
Yeah.
gets you a 31-second loss,
Yeah.
which
We
is
don't want that.
very, very bad.
Okay, so there's honestly 1 of 2 fights we could really wish for here. Ideally, we would want Mr. Sandman on this next one. The Bald Bull gives you a guaranteed 10.4 second knockdown. Because he has a unique quirk where if you get hit by 1 punch, he'll just start spamming his uppercuts to do a ton of damage. It is a very that is something.
So we have basically 6 different boxers that we can get here. With one of them being a random chance of getting Donkey Kong. But the worst one that we could get is Aaron Ryan. The best one being Sandman, like how Sebastian was talking about.
Yep.
Let's see who we get.
Please.
DK.
DK. Okay.
I love this guy.
And there we go. Okay, that should be a guaranteed 27-second knockdown. Yes. It's actually possible to go too fast on that and him just have him do the rollout attack instead of his slam attack. Because the rolling animation is actually a taunt. And he doesn't hit you at all. The whole premise of DK actually is kind of similar to Don Flamenco, where you want to provoke him to attack. But with DK, it's a little bit interesting. You need to provoke him in a specific frame window, otherwise you'll just get stars. And we're gonna be at time.
All right.
Wow. Wow,
That's,
that was actually an incredible run. Holy.
Hour 3 minutes. Wow, you went way under the estimate.
Yeah,
What's
bro.
I made
what
it
is the
very
in-game
generous
time?
on that estimate because I figured
Right.
that there was actually going to be quite a bit of mistakes throughout this run, but
All right. What is
wow.
your final
Good job,
time? In game time.
So in-game time with Last Stand, it is a 22:11.62.
That is a 20 something second PB. I don't
That is a
remember.
28-second improvement on my PB.
You said 28:11 or 22:11? You said
22:11, yes. Wow.
that is third place.
Oh my god.
That is third place by 12 seconds.
Let's go. Oh
That
my
is
god.
actually insane.
Yeah, no, like 45. Like
Oh
I've got to
my
say, 45. Like has proven himself time and time again ever since he got the contender percent world record to be like the greatest full game runner of our current generation.
Oh my god.
Shake off the nerds.
Yeah, I can't stop shaking
Yeah,
right
no,
now,
this is
genuinely,
like-
because a lot of the strategies I wanted to hit, I did hit. Especially
no.
the title defense Sandman fight, and for TD Soda as well.
Dude, yeah, no. The fact you actually got like both TD Soda and TD Sandman.
Oh no, dude, that 49 on Don Flamingo too, like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, like dude, that was insane.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow, but what a run. And thank
What
you
a
so
run.
much, Mark, for inviting me back to do this full game time.
No
like,
worries,
I
no
am-
problem.
This was, I definitely enjoyed this a lot. This has definitely been a lot of fun to come back and actually just show off the potential of this game. Like, yes, we do have a bunch of cutscenes to sit through, but hey,
Yeah, but
the
like it
gameplay is
is.
so worth it.
Yeah, no, this is like in terms of like gameplay in the Punch Out series, it goes. This is like second place by like a huge margin compared to SPO. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
I agree. Yeah, it has a lot of character. The mechanics within the fight are actually very interesting, and if you're able to just execute them on a higher level, then it all lines up to look like such a very, like, kind of a beautiful run in a sense, where you just see all these different mechanics work together in synchronicity. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But thanks, Sebastian, for being co-comms for this run.
Yeah. Thank you for having me back to commentate this.
No, this was a lot of fun for sure. And again, shout outs again to the Punch Out community for doing a lot of development for this game. You guys have been such a motivator for me to keep going with these attempts. The job's not done. We all know that. We're gonna keep going, but
Yeah.
you guys have been amazing. We're growing strong every single day, and that's only gonna keep going up from there.
Yeah.
And yeah,
But yeah,
thank
GGs.
you. Thank you. You're a lifesaver for doing this one for me. As much as
For sure.
Oh
No, it was
my
a lot of
God.
fun. Again, thank you again, Mark, for having me
Yeah.
back.
Alright, with that being said, I will see you guys right next run.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.